Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, Siriana Tarot. This is going to be a you versus them love reading for my dearest Taurus. Taurus, I'm going to read your energy on the right, your person's energy on the left, and then we're going to see what's happening between you right down the middle. At any point in time, feel free to swap the energies that I may be picking up on. And if these messages resonate with you, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And just a friendly reminder, my lovely Taurus, I am available for private readings. So if you're after one, I have those links down below. All right, let's get started. Taurus, let's see what's up with your person. All right, so we see the Akashic Records showing up in reverse. This is an extra card in this beautiful deck. You're in the Seven of Swords. Okay, you may be avoiding this person or looking at if this is something that's truly in alignment with you. And we have the Four of Swords in reverse. So there's a restlessness here between the two of you, but there may be disappointment. There could be third-party interference. And we see the Emperor, Aries energy. So some of you, this is your divine masculine. Others of you, this is somebody here who, who has strong Aries placements. Now, this Aries energy is a beautiful energy because it may be that they're in the process of stepping up here. Okay, so this person is showing up as the Akashic Records in reverse. So this card, this extra card in this deck represents a deep well of wisdom and knowledge, embodying the concept of the Akashic Records as a universal library of consciousness. It symbolizes access to past, present, and future information about one's soul journey and the universe. This card encourages exploration, self-reflection, and connection to the infinite possibilities within. But it looks like your person is actually very disconnected at this time. So they're maybe not knowing what their path and their purpose is right now. They may not be really open to exploring it, or they can't see a way forward. This person may need to do some self-reflection and may not be seeing the infinite possibilities that are available to them, not only in their own life, but within this connection. All right, but I do see that there's hope because they're showing up as the Emperor, and the Emperor is going to get it done. So right now it feels like they are quite disconnected. They're feeling confused about this connection, about their life, and that they need to do some self-reflection here, or they need to do some shadow work too. All right, so let's see. Yeah, we see the Page of Wands. So, but I do think this is an indication your person is open to that, or maybe they're starting or they're on the precipice of that self-discovery. Some of you, my Taurus, you may feel like this person is too stuck or embedded in the 3D matrix, and you being much more spiritual, you being much more awakened, are feeling frustrated or disconnected from them because of that. Some of you with this Page of Wands energy, you may find this person to sometimes act foolishly or say foolish things that makes you further feel kind of disconnected here from them. All right, let's see how they're viewing you. They're viewing you as the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, Sagittarius energy. As a reader, this also represents the fixed signs, Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius. Now they may be seeing you as a karmic soulmate here, but I don't think so. I don't think this person has come to that conclusion. More so, I feel like they see that you've created distance, or that you've brought this connection to a full stop, that you're not moving things forward. And why would you? You're in the Seven of Swords energy. It looks like you may be avoiding this person, or you're really checking in to see what, like, if this is worth your time, your energy, your love, your money, your resources. Wow, okay, so we just had the Emperor show up in reverse. It fell on the floor. So you both might have Aries placements here. But it looks like you're feeling a little bit triggered. You're feeling triggered, or you're feeling quite frustrated with this person. All right, and how you're viewing them, the Six of Swords in reverse. So you may feel like they're stuck. Like, again, it almost feels like you feel like they're stuck on a lower vibrational timeline. Some of you feel maybe, if this is more of a long-term connection, Taurus, you may feel like you've outgrown them, or you've evolved and you're no longer in alignment here with this person, or you feel like they're stuck in this lower vibration, they're stuck in the matrix, they're not seeing things the way you see them, whereas like you're seeing connection and you're seeing like your soul's path and your journey, and it's like this person is stuck on go, right? So with the Four of Swords energy in reverse, I do feel like there's been heartbreak and disappointment. There's definitely restlessness here between the two of you. They're viewing the relationship as the Ace of Swords in reverse, so a missed opportunity. This person's also feeling quite confused is what I'm getting, Taurus. And again, I feel like you've evolved past this person, and for a lot of you, I'm picking up on this might be a connection that's been more long-term. Where you two have kind of grown apart, where you've really focused on your healing, you've really focused on your spiritual journey, and now you see things differently. This person, this relationship, life, everything, and you're viewing the relationship as the Four of Swords in reverse, a restlessness, and you may know that this person doesn't quite get it or doesn't quite see things the way you see them. Some of you may even have children with this person, but I do feel like this sense of frustration coming from you, Taurus, that they're not getting it. And for a lot of you, the Four of Swords in reverse, you're not seeing a way to heal this connection. And with the Three of Wands in reverse, you're not seeing growth and expansion. You're feeling like this person is blocked or this connection here is blocked. Ooh, it's a heavy read, Taurus. It's definitely a heavy read. So let's see what we need to know about this person. So we see water energy. So they may have strong water placements, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. Spirituality, emotion, intuition, and compassion. Okay, but I do think that, Taurus, whatever you've said to them, or whatever you've done, or your absence, or your pulling away from this connection, has made them take a look at the spiritual union here, or the potential of this being a spiritual union, or they're getting downloads, they're getting signs and synchronicities here. They're very emotional about you. This person, I do feel this person loves you. You may be the catalyst here for them to be stepping up with that Emperor energy. But again, it's kind of hard to like step up your spiritual journey, right? If you don't know, it's not something you can do for this person, right? It's something that needs to unfold for them in divine timing, in their own time, is kind of what I'm getting. But you may be sparking that, okay? You may be sparking an awakening here in this person, Taurus. All right, and we see yin energy. So intuition, trust, patience, spirituality, and receptivity. So this person is receptive. And I'm very happy to see this, because it's like, oh my gosh, why are we doing this reading about this person? It feels like this is over. But I feel with this water energy and this yin energy, this person is open and receptive to trying to understand you, trying to understand what's going on, maybe trying to see past, the matrix, okay? So let's see, what's in your energy? And you may talk to this person about these things. You may have talked about the things like this to your person, and they may have poo-pooed you, or they may have kind of blown you off here when you did in the past, but now that they're sensing that your energetic signature has shifted or has changed, and they're feeling left behind, there's like, boom, there's that something clicking here. In your energy, we see the 6th house, establishing a foundation, health, daily life, and practical details. So I do see that you are very focused on your foundation and your stability. You're very focused also on your health. A lot of you've been through a spiritual awakening, and I can see something within this connection. Like, let's just give an example. Say you and this person, met, you got together, maybe even you got married and had kids for some of you. And you lived the normal life, and maybe maybe you two would, drink a lot, or you two would eat a lot of fast food, or you would, just whatever, like, indulge here and there and things like that. And I feel like your awakening, Taurus, has been a little bit more extreme. And, when we go through a spiritual awakening, as many of you already know, it's kind of hard to engage in lower vibrational activities. A lot of times when people are ascending, You know, there's foods and there's drink that no longer, that you can no longer support, or that you can no longer support's not the word in English, I'm thinking in Spanish. There's that you can no longer put up with, or that you no longer tolerate. That's the word I'm looking for. Thank you. You know, for example, you know, lower vibrational foods, highly processed foods are really low vibrational. You know, carbonated beverages, sodas and things like that. So a lot of you, you know, you've without even, maybe some of you knowingly and others of you unwittingly, even basic things like your diet has changed as you've gone through an awakening. A lot of times people going through an awakening as well don't tolerate meat as well. Okay, so maybe some of you have, you know, have limited your consumption of meat. And things like that, or anything highly processed, or anything with a lot of chemicals. And it kind of feels like this person didn't really understand what was going on. Now, it may not be those exact examples, but it's like, I just feel like you've evolved past this person, and it's created an incompatibility. You know, and basically you're not really living on the same timeline. But what I'm seeing here is that there's, and like I said, they may have kind of blown you off, or they might have poo-pooed you about that, or just kind of not listened to you or taken it seriously until now. And there's been a shift here in this person's energy where they're much more receptive. Okay, so let's see what else is going on here. We see cardinal energy. So the cardinal signs are Libra, Aries, Cancer, and Capricorn. So you could have those in your chart, but this is instigation, bravery, and a pioneering spirit. So again, you might have, I kind of feel, my Taurus, whether this is like you're the first one in your family or within this relationship, you realized something needed to change for you to feel better, or as you've been through a spiritual awakening. And you've instigated, it feels like, an awakening here in this person, okay? Or at least that spark is starting to, you know, it's starting to show them that there's something a little bit different, or there's something else going on than what they were previously seeing, not only in the universe but within this connection, or not only within this connection but in the universe. Let's put it that way. And it's taken some bravery. This is you thinking outside of the box. This is you not being afraid to really valiantly step onto your path of ascension, to step onto your path of enlightenment here. And be a pioneer. And it's kind of, it feels like you're showing others the way, and particularly this person, and not by preaching, and not necessarily by proselytizing or preaching here, but because of your actions. All right, so let's see what this person's shadow is, or what their blockages are. We see love sucks. You've stopped believing in love. Let yourself heal so you can be open again. So again, this person may have, you know, thrown themselves a really big pity party and just been like, you know, love sucks. I don't really understand what's happening here. But it's like there may be a little bit of a healing here taking place for this person as they're seeing things differently. And that's thanks to you, Taurus. Now, this person may fear loneliness, so they stay in bad relationships because they're lonely, so be okay with yourself. And I feel like you did not permit this, or you are not permitting, you know, yourself or them to stay in a relationship that isn't really in alignment. And that has been like, you know, you grabbing them by the shoulders and shaking them. All right, Taurus, so wow. All right, let's see what they want to say to you. Let's see what they want to say to you. Soul tie. I always feel connected to you. So they do feel there's a soul tie, soul connection, and mistakes. I wish I could right my wrongs. So they are taking a look at where they may have erred, or where they may have really messed things up here with you. So definitely doing that self-reflection. It's starting. I like this person's energy in the sense that whereas I felt they were really closed off before, this Emperor is telling me that there's potential for them to have a breakthrough. Now, whether that's enough for you to get back together with them or put time and effort into this connection, of course, is going to be up to you, Taurus. All right, so let's see if there's anything that's hidden here. This person may be hung up on the past, or still kind of really clinging on to that old, or that outdated paradigms, or that lower vibrational timeline that they've kind of been on, that they've dug their heels into. And but there's, you know, maybe you have built a life together, or there is potential to build a life together here, if you want to hold space for this person while they go through this, while they, raise their vibration, basically. Some of you will, some of you won't. All right, your advice, Taurus, is Lemuria, creating heaven on earth. It's happening. Ooh, all right, so some of you may have memories of Lemuria, but I also think this is what you're in the process of doing, creating heaven on earth. All right, and I feel like you do have like-minded souls, friends, family members around you, and this person may have pushed back against that, is kind of what I'm getting, but it's happening, and that's affecting this person. Okay, this raise in your vibration is happening, and they're sensing it. It's triggering something within them. And we see the great gathering. So we see it's all coming together, intuitive hits and soul tribe. I was really getting, Taurus, like you may have people around you. I don't know if it's friends, or I don't know if it's family members, or whatever it might be, acquaintances, people you do workshops with, or you have a meditation group, or whatever it is. I feel like you are gathering people around you. One, your vibration is high, so you're calling in other higher vibrational beings, people that get you, people that feel the same way. You're probably getting a lot of spiritual downloads at this time. But I feel like this person, whereas they may not have been too into it before, they want to be a part of your soul tribe. And I feel like they are. I feel like they are coming around. I do feel like there's a glimmer of hope here. All right. And at the bottom of the deck here, we said, don't dim your light to fit in, though, or to fit somebody into your life that doesn't fit. So how are you dimming your light in order to fit in? And for some of my Taurus, you may have felt like you were dimming your light here to make this connection work. And I see that you no longer tolerate that. But in doing so, Taurus, you have triggered an awakening here in this person. And again, you are going to be the one that decides if that means you can work on this relationship, that you want to bring this together, you want to hold space for them or not. All right, Taurus, I'm sending you love and light. Take care.